Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Together with the Presidential Communications Office,
we bring you the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IBC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and Presidential Broadcast Service. I'm Princess Abiba Saripoda.
And I'm Joe Fernandez from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to
Balitang Pambansa.
Tonight's headlines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. leads the turnover of the patient transfer vehicles during the 90th anniversary of the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office, or PCSO. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. says the Merck's Optimus Distribution Center will pave the way for more job opportunities, strengthen the logistics system, and contribute to the country's economic development. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. directs local government units to gear up for the possible effects of Super Typhoon Leon. The Philippine National Police is on heightened alert and is set to deploy 21,000 cops for the observance of Undas. The Philippine Sports Commission concludes the 2024 Indigenous Peoples Games Mindanao leg in General Santos. The Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office prides itself in providing ambulances, especially to far-flung areas, to help improve the health services situation. Today, the President led the turnover of the patient transfer vehicles to various local governments. PTV's Clazel Pardilla filed this report.
On the 90th anniversary of the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office, 90 patient transport vehicles were distributed. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. led the turnover to local governments in Cebu, Samar, Bohol, Pangasinan, and Negros Occidental. This initiative aims to bring medical services closer to the most vulnerable Filipinos, those living on geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas. The ambulances are fully equipped with oxygen, a blood pressure monitor, a wheelchair, a stretcher, and other essential medical equipment. President Marcos Jr. has acknowledged the challenges in acquiring patient transport vehicles, which can sometimes be influenced by connections. Thus, President's directive is clear: provide these vehicles to those who need them most.
Hindi naman siguro dapat ganun. Kaya sinabi ko, kailangan sabihin na lang natin, kailangan na lang, basta sabi ko, basta hanggat kaya natin, kuha ng tayo na itong mga emergency vehicle na ganito. At ikalat natin, wag na natin isipin kung saan pupunta, kung ito'y binoto ba tayo dyan, nanalo ba tayo dyan, wala nang ganun. Kung saan man nangailangan, magpapadala tayo.
The administration aims to provide ambulances to all towns and cities across the country. So far, the PCSO has completed the distribution of emergency vehicles to all local governments in Cebu and Bohol. The chief executive urges,
ako'y natutuwa na ating nagagawa ito at ipatuloy nating gagawa. Ang hihilingin ko lang sa ating mga chief executives, sa ating mga LGU heads, alagaan ninyo, patagalin ninyo.
Through the Medical Transport Vehicle Donation Program, 564 local government units, hospitals, and government agencies have benefited from free ambulances thus far. From PTV, Clazel Pardilla, Balitang Pambansa.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. lauded and encouraged the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office, or PCSO, to continue to deliver the kind of public service and dedication it is known for during the celebration of the agency's 90th anniversary. PTV's Bien Manalo has more.
Continued support for the programs and advocacies of the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office, an assurance President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on the agency's 90th anniversary celebration. President Marcos Jr. spearheaded the inauguration of PCSO's collective stamps, which symbolize the compassion and dedication in helping our country. Some partners and stakeholders who partnered with the agencies in achieving their goals were also awarded. The President also instructed the PCSO to intensify their charity works so more Filipinos can be helped.
I call upon everyone at PCSO to remember the heart of what you do continue upholding integrity, benevolence, and excellence.
PCSO General Manager Mel Robles assured to continue supporting government programs that improve the quality of life of every Filipino.
Ushered a watershed moment in our collective journey towards building a more compassionate society. It was a clarion call for all of us to engage in deep and fundamental transformations.
From People's Television Network, Bien Manalo, Balitang Pambansa.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. led the unveiling of a Danish-based distribution and transport hub located on a sprawling 10-hectare Laguna property. And as PTV's Kenneth Paciente reports, the president hailed its coming to the country as it soon will directly employ 1,000 workers and 1,000 more indirect livelihood beneficiaries from the local community.
A boost to the economy. That's how President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. described the launching of the Maersk Optimus Distribution Center in Laguna, which he led today. Due to its size of 10 hectares, the president emphasized how it will serve as a means to strengthen the country's logistics sector, which will ramp up economic growth even more.
With the grand opening of the Maersk Optimus Distribution Center, our logistics system will be a step closer to become a powerful force, bridging our islands, breathing life into our industries, our businesses, bringing together our people on a path towards sustained development. The Maersk Optimus Distribution Center attests to the shared vision of Maersk Philippines and Solid Group Incorporated, a vision for a more inclusive and sustainable growth.
He also mentioned how the establishment will pave the way for stronger import and export activities, especially in Calabarzon, and enhance the supply chain at the same time. This is also in line with the administration's goal to decongest Manila and expand opportunities in the provinces, especially in job creation.
In the coming years, the Maersk Optimus Distribution Center is expected to create employment for 1,000 people in its surrounding communities and indirect employment for another 1,000 individuals, from vendors and service providers to truckers and beyond. When a large plant such as this is put up in a community, the downstream employment that comes, both the full employment and partial employment, is usually 3 times the direct employment in the facility. So it is a great boon to the local community.
The president also praised the company's effort to establish the warehouse and distribution center while considering the preservation of the environment, aligned with the government's goal to achieve net zero carbon emissions.
From utilizing solar power to reduce its grid consumption by 30% to deploying electric vehicles for the last mile services, it is committed to earning a gold certification under the Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. Environmental stewardship is a cornerstone of this administration's agenda, and it is heartening to see the private sector partners echoing this commitment. It is more critical as we face natural calamities such as the typhoons and storms that have intensified because of climate change.
The Maersk Optimus Distribution Center has a 76,000 pallet storage capacity that will serve as a transport hub for Central Luzon and boasts 75 docks for outbound and inbound operations. It is by far the largest warehouse and distribution hub of the company. From PTV, Kenneth Paciente, Balitang Pambansa.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. ordered local government units in areas that will be potentially affected by the onset of Super Typhoon Ngayon to prepare for the weather disturbance. The chief executive gave this order during the opening of the Maersk Optimus Distribution Center in Calamba, Laguna. Many parts of the country are still reeling from the effects of severe tropical storm Christine that has caused fatalities and damage to infrastructure and agriculture sector.
Unfortunately, mukhang may padating na naman. Kaya't paghanda natin na mabuti.
All disaster response and concerned government agencies came together to keep tabs on the Super Typhoon Leon and the movement ahead of the president's order to them to prepare for its potential impact when it makes landfall. Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. led the briefing at the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council at Camp Aguinaldo in Quezon City. The Armed Forces of the Philippines assured its readiness at a moment's notice to dispatch its units to help in rescue and relief operations, while the Philippine Coast Guard said it had begun monitoring seaports in the way of the super typhoon.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, assured enough government assistance as Super Typhoon Leon approaches. According to the Office of Civil Defense, or OCD, 2.5 million individuals could be affected by the weather disturbance across large parts of Luzon as well as in the Visayas and Mindanao. Meanwhile, the United Arab Emirates provided aid for the victims of severe tropical storm Christine. DSWD Secretary Rex Gatchalian, Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel, Special Envoy to the UAE Katrina U. Pimentel, UAE Ambassador Muhammad Obaid Al-Zabi, and other UAE representatives led the distribution of 1,000 food packs of UAE aid to Marikina City residents. 33,000 food packs are set to be delivered to the Bicol region.
At sabi nga nung ambassador sa akin, pati itong parating na bagyo, minomonitor nila. Hindi sila magsasawa kung meron pang kailangan na tutulungan sa Leon, gagawin nila.
Every time meron tayong malaking pagsubok at sakuna, nagpapasalamat ang DSWD at ang mga biktima sa United Arab Emirates kasi they never cease to help us.
Meanwhile, the Philippine Ports Authority, or PPA, has put all ports on full alert for over 1.6 million passengers expected during Undas and to monitor Super Typhoon Leon. According to a report gathered by the Philippine News Agency, currently there are no stranded passengers, but some domestic boat trips have been canceled due to bad weather. Canceled trips include routes from Mindoro to Batangas and others in PMO Bicol and PMO Western Leyte or Beliran. PPA is also managing damage from severe tropical storm Christine and is advising port managers to follow updated guidelines for operations during bad weather. Meanwhile, PPA spokesperson Eunice Samonte noted about 200,000 passengers are expected in busy ports like Panay, Batangas, Mindoro, Negros Oriental, and Bohol.
Assistance continues to flow to those affected by severe tropical storm Christine, particularly in the Bicol region. The staff of the Philippine Air Force loaded family food packs into C-130 aircraft at Villamor Air Base, Pasay, to be delivered to the Bicol region as part of the President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s ongoing assistance efforts in response to the effects of severe tropical storm Christine. Nearly 770,000 food packs valued at over 524 million pesos have been distributed by the Department of Social Welfare and Development to affected communities.
The center of the eye of Super Typhoon Leon was seen at 285 kilometers east of Calayan, Cagayan, with maximum sustained winds of 185 kilometers per hour, gustiness up to 230 kilometers per hour, and moving northwestward at 20 kilometers per hour. Batanes, Cagayan, including Babuyan Islands, Ilocos Norte, Apayao, Kalinga, Abra, Mountain Province, and Isabela will have a stormy weather. Rains with gusty winds will fall on central Luzon, the rest of Ilocos region, the rest of Cagayan Valley, and the rest of Cordillera Administrative Region. Cloudy skies with scattered rain, showers, and thunderstorms will be felt in Metro Manila, Visayas, and the rest of Luzon, brought about by the draft of Super Typhoon Leon. Meanwhile, Mindanao will experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms due to localized thunderstorms.
Coming up, the launching of the eGov.ph app in Iloilo City.
The Indigenous Peoples Games held in General Santos City. Stay tuned. Balitang Pambansa will return after a quick break.
Good vibes ba kamo? Sagot namin ang umaga ninyo. Mula sa balitaan,
Makakakwentuhan natin ngayong umaga.
bagong kaalaman,
Hoping for the success.
hanggang sa Unli Chikahan. Kasama ang RSP Morning Barkada. Rise and Shine Pilipinas. Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 6 na umaga. Dito lang sa PTV. Disaster Watch. Alamin ang mga dapat ilagay sa go bag bilang paghahanda sa anumang sakuna. Maglagay ng tubig na maiinom at mga pagkaing hindi madaling masira. Maglaan ng espasyo para sa first aid kit at survival kit para sa mga hindi inaasahang pangyayari. Huwag kalimutan ang toilet para mapanatili ang kalinisan sa katawan. Samahan din ang mga damit at beddings na magtatagal ng ilang araw. At para ligtas at may alam, magdala ng personal protective equipment at mga teknikal na gamit. Sa panahon ng kalamidad, dapat laging listo.
The Philippine National Police Force is on increased vigilance and alert status and has got its hands full this week, and especially on the weekend for the Days of the Dead holidays. For even safer measure and extra public protection, it beefed up deployment with 3,000 more cops in graveyards, memorial parks, cemeteries, and public spaces of mass convergence, automatically switching into increased alert status. PTV's Ryan Lesiges tells us more.
To ensure a peaceful observance of the Days of the Dead or Undas this year, the Philippine National Police or PNP has increased its deployment of police officers. According to PNP spokesperson Brigadier General Jane Fajardo, the initial deployment of over 18,000 police officers has been increased. The number has reached 21,000 police officers. They will be assigned in various cemeteries, public places, bus terminals, seaports, airports, and other crowded areas.
Kasama na po sa deployment po na yan yung ating pong mga EDDs o yung ating mga K9s po to help po dun sa pagsisecure po ng mga bagahe at syempre matulungan po yung management po ng mga transport terminals to ensure po the safety and security po ng mga magbabiyahe po ngayong pong undas.
Despite the additional force deployed, the PNP clarified not having monitored any threats for the undas holidays as of yet.
Sa ngayon po ma'am, ay wala pa naman po tayong namomonitor na anumang credible at seryosong banta po para po sa pag-observe po natin ng undas. Pero kagaya po ng ating laging sinasabi, we are maintaining our security stance and measures po at yung ating pong coordination sa ibang mga security forces to ensure po na hindi po tayo malulusutan ng anumang banta po sa seguridad.
Despite this, Fajardo stated that since yesterday, they have raised their alert to heightened status. This means that 75% of their force is on deployment. The PNP has given regional directors the discretion to raise the alert status in their areas depending on the peace and order situation.
As early as Monday pa po ay nag-start na po tayo ng soft deployment natin. Dahil marami na po tayong na-monitor na maaga pa lamang po ay nagpunta na po sa mga sementeryo para hindi po makisabay doon sa bulto po ng mga tao po na dadalaw po sa kanilang mga puntod. At syempre po, yung ating mga police assistance desk ay naka-establish na rin po sa mga sementeryo, sa mga public transportation hubs including seaports and airports po.
The PNP earlier advised those traveling out of town to leave their homes under the care of relatives or trusted neighbors and avoid posting at the moment updates on social media.
Ryan Lesiges, Balitang, Pambansa.
The Department of Interior and Local Government, or DILG, urged local government units, or LGUs, to ensure the peaceful and orderly observance of the Undas. According to Philippine News Agency's report, DILG Secretary John Vic Remulla said the LGUs should prioritize public safety in cemeteries, memorial parks, and churches by deploying traffic enforcers, barangay security, and medical personnel. The public is also reminded to follow proper cemetery protocols and avoid prohibited activities such as drinking alcohol, gambling, and causing disturbances.
The Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, together with the Alaminos local government unit and partner agencies, launched a casket-making livelihood program for persons deprived of liberty and indigent families. Philippine Information Agency Pangasinan Jenry Del Rosario has the details.
A new, unique livelihood program for persons deprived of liberty or PDLs was launched in Alaminos City by the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology at the Alaminos City Jail Male Dormitory to equip them with skills for societal reintegration and produce affordable caskets for indigent families in need. Instead of the usual carpentry or furniture making as a source of livelihood inside the jail, they are engaged in making caskets for the less fortunate who have lost loved ones.
Itong production namin ng casket making talaga is one of the product ng ating BJMP kung saan malaking na maitutulong ito sa ating mga PDL. And of course, why if we are going to have kakaibang livelihood product na mura ang magiging kuha ng ating mga nangangailangan na kababayan dito sa Alaminos.
According to Jail Chief Inspector Marlon Niturada, the casket-making program began this May through the initiative of 1st District Congressman Arthur Celeste in partnership with the local government of Alaminos and the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority. Niturada said that 25 PDLs have completed basic carpentry training and obtained a national certificate too, which they can use not only for making caskets while in jail, but also upon their release to start a new life. Each casket made earned them 1,500 pesos, which was shared among the PDLs involved in its production. The program aims to produce more caskets to be sold at affordable prices, ranging from 5,000 pesos to 7,000 pesos for indigent families in need. With the help of the local government of Alaminos, the PDLs were again provided with materials and other accessories for making additional caskets. Through the cooperation of various government agencies, the beneficiaries of the program not only gain skills and livelihood, but also the opportunity to contribute to their community. From the Philippine Information Agency Pangasinan, Jenry Del Rosario, Balitang, Pambansa.
On the other news, the Department of Information and Communications Technology, or DICT, and DILG joined hands to propagate government's e-governance app for the ease of doing business and an efficiency in the bureaucracy. PIA's Western Visayas correspondent Elijah Dalipe has more.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government, Bureau of Local Government Development Director Annalisa Bonagua, and DICT Region 6 Director Ralph Joseph Moncatar led the ceremonial launching of the eGov.ph app through the My eGov Canaba campaign during the Ease of Doing Business Forum 2024 in Iloilo City. The Ease of Doing Business Forum 2024 was held in Iloilo with the theme Fostering Transformative E-Governance for Sustained Local Economic Development.
Yung e-governance, dito natin napapacilitate yung services ng ating government, particularly kami sa DILG, mga local government teams, so that they encourage more investment to come to the area. So e-governance, specifically starting from streamlining ng mga permits nila to automation, electronic governance, digital transformation ng mga transactions ng local government units, in such a way na yung mga client ni LGU, hindi kailangan pumunta ng City Hall or Municipal Hall just to apply for permits. They can do business with the LGU in the respective offices via online systems. And then yung huli namin is the e-governance reform, is the e-payment system. We encourage LGU not just to be automated but to accept online application and payment of the private sector of the applicants through online mechanism like payments on using the banking operations and even other digital payment means.
The discussions focus on streamlining government processes, reducing bureaucratic red tape, and promoting transparency, making it easier for businesses to operate and thrive. The eGov.ph app, A one-stop platform aims to bring a variety of government services online, minimizing the need for in-person transactions at LGU offices. From PIA Western Visayas, Elijah Dalipe for Balitang Pambansa.
Singapore Ambassador to the Philippines, Constance C., paid a courtesy call on Acting Presidential Communications Office or PCO Secretary Cesar Chavez. The PCO chief proudly told the Singapore envoy about government's efforts to integrate news operations of Philippine state media agencies. For her part, the Singapore ambassador committed to facilitate meetings with Philippine and Singaporean communication agencies to discuss possible areas of collaboration.
Sports in the country will not only continue to grow, but actually become even more inclusive, especially with the staging of such events like the recently concluded Indigenous People Games. Radyo Pilipinas 2 sports correspondent Aaron Batayo has the full details.
Various Filipino indigenous peoples celebrated and paid homage to their heritage in the third and final leg of the 2024 Philippine Sports Commission Indigenous Peoples Games at the Acaron Sports Complex over the weekend. Several local government units, Maasim, Alabel, Malungon, Malapitan, Kiamba, and Maytum of Sarangani Province, and General Santos City, trooped here at the Acaron Sports Center to enjoy the country's traditional games in the two-day event. In a huddle at the sidelines of the IP Games, Philippine Sports Commission Commissioners Fritz Gaston and Edward Haico highlighted this unique platform to promote the rights of our katutubong Filipino and promote these traditional games as a way of enhancing sports in Mindanao.
Mula sa pagparada, tapos yung mga kanilang pinakitang mga showcase nila, yung mga kulturang mga activities nila ng iba-ibang tribu dito, no? So it shows their willingness to show kung ano yung talagang meron nila. Hindi lang yung sports yung kanila, yung pati yung mga talagang kultura na gusto natin ipakita, no, sa ating mga kababayan, sa ating mga manonood.
Binibigyan mo natin ng pansin, tapos pinapaano natin yung kultura, yung sana maiintindi, pati nakita ko maraming bata.
Yun,
so,
tama yun.
Yung matanda at saka yung mga bata.
Yun.
Most of the tribes that joined the festivities were from Blaan, Tiboli, and Lumats. Felipe Sugapo from the Blaan tribe who won in the casting event thanked the current Marcos Jr. administration and the Philippine Sports Commission for conducting the Indigenous Peoples Games here in the Sacsargan region.
Ako na po bilang isang tribo, ako'y natutuwa na binigyan ng ating present administration through the leadership of our President Bongbong Marcos na binigyan ng pagkataon ito ang tribo para magkaroon ng isang pagtitipon na lahat ng tribo dito sa amin sa Sacsargan area na mayroong pagkakataon na para maglaro. So nakita po namin ang kahalagahan nito.
The collaboration and partnership with the Philippine Sports Commission from PBS DZSR RP2 Sports. Aaron Bayato, Balitang Pambansa.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. greets Iglesia ni Cristo or INC Executive Minister Eduardo Manalo on his 69th birthday. Based on the information gathered by the Philippine News Agency, the Chief Executive expressed his gratitude and admiration for Manalo's dedication to leading and guiding the INC. He also wished him continued strength and wisdom in his ongoing service and leadership within the church. Moreover, the President, along with the First Family, prayed for the continued growth of Manalo's work and good aspirations for the country and the world. And that concludes our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from across the nation. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Joe Fernandez.
This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again tomorrow at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From Radyo Pilipinas, I am Princess Habiba Saripaudak, and this is
Balitang Pambansa.